Have you ever wondered why some people suddenly develop kidney stones so painful that they describe it as worse than childbirth? Or why someone who looks perfectly healthy may one day discover their kidneys are silently failing? Most of us don't think about our kidneys until something goes wrong. We care about our heart, our brain, even our skin. But the truth is, our kidneys are the unsung heroes of our body. Every single day, they filter nearly 50 gallons of blood, removing toxins, balancing electrolytes, and controlling our blood pressure. Yet, just like any hero, they have a weakness: what we eat and drink. Now here's the alarming part. Many of the foods we love, foods we proudly put on our dining tables or grab as quick snacks, are secretly giving dangerous signals to our kidneys. Foods high in salt, sugar, phosphorus, calcium, or oxalic acid don't just harm in silence. They can trigger stones, crystal concretions, and long-term kidney damage. And the worst thing? Kidney disease often has no symptoms until it's already advanced. So let me ask you, do you know which everyday foods are silently attacking your kidneys? Do you know how much water you should actually drink and whether the quality of water could decide if you'll ever face kidney stones? Stay with me in this video, because we're diving deep into the science of kidney health. We'll uncover the 5 major foods that sound alarm bells for your kidneys, the role of micronutrients like calcium and oxalates in forming painful stones, what clinical research says about diet and kidney disease, and most importantly, the power of water, how much to drink, when to drink, and what kind of water protects you best. By the end of this journey, you'll have a clear map: what to avoid, what to eat instead, and how to give your kidneys the long, healthy life they deserve. Because let me be very honest with you, kidney health is not just about avoiding pain. It's about avoiding dialysis, avoiding organ failure, and avoiding the silent suffering that millions of people go through every year. According to the World Health Organization, chronic kidney disease now affects more than 850 million people worldwide. That's more than double the number of people with diabetes. And yet most of it can be prevented with simple science-based lifestyle choices. So buckle up. Whether you're someone who has a family history of kidney disease, or you've had a kidney stone in the past, or you simply want to protect yourself before it's too late, this video could literally save you years of suffering. Let's start this journey by first understanding what your kidneys really do, and why certain foods and drinks give them the hardest time. Kidney functions and silent dangers. Before we jump into the list of foods that send dangerous alarms to your kidneys, we need to truly understand what these 2 bean-shaped organs actually do. Because once you realize their importance, you'll never take them for granted again. Think of your kidneys as the world's most advanced water filter, but one that works 24/7, never takes a break, and doesn't just filter water, it keeps your whole internal chemistry in balance. Each kidney is roughly the size of your fist, yet inside it there are over 1 million tiny filtering units called nephrons. Every single nephron has the job of filtering your blood, deciding what stays in and what must leave the body. The hidden laboratory in your body every day, your kidneys filter around 180 liters of fluid. Out of that, they reabsorb what's useful, like glucose, amino acids, and essential minerals, and send out the waste in the form of urine. That means, in just 1 week, your kidneys have filtered more blood than most water treatment plants filter in a month. But their role doesn't stop there. Kidneys also control blood pressure by managing sodium and water levels, regulate red blood cell production by releasing a hormone called erythropoietin, balance electrolytes like potassium, calcium, and phosphorus, nutrients that are vital for your heart, bones, and nerves, detoxify the body by removing urea, creatinine, and other byproducts of metabolism. So, the next time you sip a soda, eat a salty snack, or take in excess calcium, remember, your kidneys are the ones cleaning up the mess. The silent nature of kidney damage. Here's the scary part. Unlike a toothache or a stomach infection, kidney disease is usually silent. You won't feel pain in the early stages. You won't even notice small changes in your blood chemistry. By the time symptoms appear, like swelling, fatigue, or changes in urination, your kidneys may already have lost up to 70–80% of their function. This is why doctors often call it a silent killer. According to research published in The Lancet, nearly 1 in 10 people globally has some form of chronic kidney disease, CKD, yet the majority don't know it until it's too late. Why food choices matter more than you think. So what's triggering this silent damage? Yes, genetics play a role, and so do conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. But here's the truth. Your daily food and water choices are the most powerful tools you have to either protect your kidneys or push them toward disease. Too much sodium raises blood pressure and forces your kidneys to hold on to water, making them work harder. Excess sugar and processed drinks spike insulin, damage blood vessels, and set the stage for stones. Oxalate-rich foods like spinach and beetroot, when eaten in excess without balance, bind with calcium to form hard crystals. And then there's the sneaky role of phosphorus additives in processed foods. Unlike natural phosphorus from whole foods, these additives are absorbed almost 100% into the bloodstream, overloading your kidneys. Clinical research backs this up. A study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology showed that people with high intake of processed foods and sugary drinks had a significantly higher risk of CKD progression compared to those with a diet rich in whole foods, vegetables, and adequate hydration. The warning signs your kidneys give. Even though kidney disease is mostly silent, your body sometimes whispers warnings if you know how to listen. Foamy or bubbly urine can mean excess protein leakage. Swelling in ankles and face may signal fluid retention. Persistent fatigue could mean your kidneys aren't making enough red blood, cell-stimulating hormones, back pain below. The ribs can sometimes point toward stones or infection. But the best way to detect problems is not waiting for symptoms. It's through regular kidney function tests, checking creatinine, blood urea nitrogen, BUN, and the glomerular filtration rate, GFR. Simple urine tests can also detect early leakage of protein or blood long before you feel sick. Why prevention beats treatment? Let's be very clear. Once kidney damage becomes advanced, it's almost always irreversible. Dialysis or transplant becomes the only option. But prevention, through diet, lifestyle, and hydration, has been proven again and again to slow, stop, and even reverse early kidney damage. That's why understanding the foods that sound alarm bells for your kidneys is so important. In the next section, we'll dive deep into the 5 most dangerous food groups and the role of micronutrients, like calcium and oxalic acid, in forming painful stones and damaging your filters. Because the truth is, kidneys don't fail overnight. They fail slowly, silently, and because of repeated small assaults from what we eat and drink every single day. Foods that alarm the kidneys, plus micronutrient, details processed meats, bacon, sausages, hot dogs. Imagine this. You walk into a grocery store, and the first thing you see are neatly packaged sausages, bacon strips, or smoked meats, ready to cook, quick to serve, and full of flavor. But here's the hidden truth. Behind that taste is a chemical cocktail that your kidneys struggle to process. Why dangerous? Processed meats are loaded with sodium and nitrate preservatives. High sodium, more fluid retention, higher blood pressure, more stress on the kidneys. Nitrates and nitrites can form harmful compounds that damage blood vessels, including the tiny vessels in your kidneys. A study published in BMJ found that people who consumed high levels of processed meat had a 19% higher risk of chronic kidney disease progression compared to those who ate little or none. Micronutrient alarm. Sodium overload is the main culprit. The average hot dog contains around 500-700 mg of sodium. That's nearly 1/3 of the daily limit recommended by the WHO. Sodium makes the kidneys retain water, increasing blood volume and pressure. Over time, this constant stress damages nephrons, the tiny filters. Think of it this way. Every time you choose processed meat, you're making your kidneys work overtime to push out excess sodium. Sugary drinks and cola beverages, picture a hot summer day. You're thirsty, and nothing feels more refreshing than opening a cold soda can. But in reality, that sip is like pouring acid into your kidneys. Why dangerous? Colas contain phosphoric acid, which increases calcium loss through urine. Sugary drinks are loaded with high fructose corn syrup, which spikes uric acid levels and increases stone risk. Energy drinks add another burden, caffeine, which in excess can dehydrate and concentrate urine. Research in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology showed that people who drank 2 or more colas per day had a 23% higher risk of kidney stones. Micronutrient alarm, phosphoric acid, leads to calcium phosphate stone formation. Excess sugar raises uric acid stones. When sugar, caffeine, and phosphoric acid team up, they create the perfect storm for stones and long-term kidney decline. Oxalate-rich foods, spinach, beetroot, almonds. Now, you might be surprised here. Spinach and beets are often called superfoods, and yes, they are full of vitamins. But here's the catch. When consumed in excess, they become kidney's worst enemy. Why dangerous? These foods are high in oxalates. Oxalates bind with calcium in the kidneys, forming calcium oxalate stones, the most common type of kidney stone. A clinical study in the New England Journal of Medicine confirmed that people with diets high in oxalates but low in hydration were significantly more likely to form kidney stones. Micronutrient alarm, oxalic acid, found in spinach, beets, nuts, sweet potatoes. Combination effect. When paired with excess calcium, oxalates crystallize. Example, just 100 g of raw spinach contains over 750 milligrams of oxalate, a heavy load for vulnerable kidneys. Eating a spinach smoothie every day without balancing it with calcium. From food and adequate water, crystal factory inside your kidneys. Excessive dairy, milk, cheese, yogurt in large amounts. We've all been told, drink milk for strong bones, and that's true, but the dose matters. Too much calcium intake, especially from supplements and overloading dairy, can backfire. Why dangerous? Excess calcium, instead of helping bones, may spill into urine. When this calcium meets oxalates, calcium oxalate stones form. Calcium supplements, in particular, have been linked to higher stone risk compared to dietary calcium. A study in Kidney International found that people who relied heavily on calcium supplements had a 20% greater risk of stones, while those who consumed calcium from food in moderate amounts actually had lower stone risk. Micronutrient alarm, calcium, high doses, spills into urine. Phosphorus, in some dairy, adds more stress to kidneys. Calcium is essential, but balance is the key. Without hydration and oxalate control, excess dairy, stone invitation. Packaged and fast foods, chips, instant noodles, baked goods. Think about that bag of chips or that cup of instant noodles you love as a midnight snack. Convenient, tasty, cheap, but loaded with silent kidney killers. Why dangerous? High in sodium, phosphorus additives, and trans fats. Phosphorus additives are especially harmful. Unlike natural phosphorus, these are absorbed almost completely by the gut and overload the kidneys. Science insight. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reported that individuals with high phosphorus additive intake had a 64% higher risk of CKD progression. Micronutrient alarm. Sodium raises blood pressure. Phosphorus additives and weaken bones. Overload kidneys. Refined carbs increase insulin resistance, indirectly harming kidneys. Kidney alarm. Every packet of chips or bowl of instant noodles is a triple hit. Sodium overload, phosphorus additives, and empty calories, all straining the kidneys. Now let's tie the science of micronutrients. Calcium, essential but dangerous in excess or supplement form. Oxalic acid, oxalates, crystal-forming villain when paired with calcium. Phosphorus additives, accelerate kidney decline more aggressively than natural sources. Sodium, the blood pressure manipulator that tires kidneys out. Sugar and fructose, uric acid boosters that cause stones. When these combine in the wrong way, say, a cheesy pizza, calcium plus phosphorus, with soda, phosphoric acid plus sugar, followed by a spinach salad, oxalates, Your kidneys are fighting a biochemical war inside without you even realizing it. What really happens inside the kidneys? When most people hear about kidney stones, they imagine a single rock sitting in the kidney. But the truth is far more fascinating and alarming. Kidney stones are the result of a microscopic process that happens quietly, over weeks or months, until one day the stone becomes big enough to block the urinary tract. At the heart of it is a simple principle: supersaturation. Your urine isn't just water. It's a chemical soup of minerals, salts, and waste products. Normally, these substances dissolve and flow out. But if the concentration becomes too high because of dehydration, poor diet, or excess nutrients, these minerals start sticking together. Think of sugar crystals forming at the bottom of an overly sweetened tea. Concretion formation as the crystal cluster hardens. It turns into what we call a stone or concretion. These can vary in size, from a grain of sand to a golf ball. The larger the stone, the higher the risk it will block urine flow and cause severe pain. Calcium oxalate stones, 70–80% of cases, formed when calcium and oxalates combine. Triggered by high oxalate foods, spinach, nuts, and dehydration, appear sharp and jagged, making them especially painful. Calcium phosphate stones caused by high urinary pH, alkaline urine, and excess phosphorus, often linked to soda consumption and processed foods. Uric acid stones develop when urine is too acidic, linked to high intake of red meat, organ meats, shellfish, and sugary drinks. Fructose from soda increases uric acid levels. Struvite stones, less common, often form after urinary tract infections, composed of magnesium, ammonium, and phosphate. Cystine stones rare, caused by genetic disorders where the body leaks cysteine into urine. Risk factors that accelerate stone formation: dehydration, the #1 cause, low water, concentrated urine, high sodium intake, makes kidneys excrete more calcium, fueling stones, excess animal protein, increases uric acid, lowers urine pH, micronutrient imbalance, too much calcium, phosphorus, or oxalate without balance. Low citrate levels. Citrate is a natural stone inhibitor found in citrus fruits. Without it, stones grow unchecked. What research tells you? A landmark study in the New England Journal of Medicine showed that men with low fluid intake had a 40% higher chance of kidney stones compared to those who drank at least 2.5 liters per day. Another study in Kidney International found that patients who consumed high sodium diets excreted significantly more calcium in their urine, directly increasing stone risk. Clinical data also reveals that even one kidney stone episode doubles the risk of chronic kidney disease later in life. Imagine a glass of salty water. Add too much salt and crystals form at the bottom. That's exactly what happens in the kidney when urine becomes concentrated. Now imagine those crystals sticking together, hardening, and trying to pass through a tiny straw. That's the urinary tract. The pain is compared to childbirth or even worse. Yes, kidney stones are painful, but the danger goes beyond pain. Repeated stone episodes cause scarring in kidney tissue, lowering kidney function. Stones can also block urine flow, leading to infections, swelling, and in severe cases, permanent kidney damage. So when we talk about avoiding certain foods or drinking enough water, it's not just about avoiding temporary pain. It's about protecting your kidneys from irreversible harm. Why water is the kidney's best friend. If there's one single medicine nature has given us to protect our kidneys, it's plain water. Your kidneys are natural filters, and just like any filter, they need enough fluid passing through to keep waste moving. Without enough water, waste becomes concentrated, minerals crystallize, and stones begin to form. The solution to pollution is dilution, meaning the more diluted your urine is, the lower the chance of stone or toxin buildup. Water, natural inhibitors of stones. Certain drinks don't just hydrate, they also prevent stones. Citrus juices, lemon, orange, contain citrate, a natural stone inhibitor that binds with calcium and prevents crystal formation. Coconut water provides potassium and hydration, shown in some studies to reduce stone-forming risk. But remember, Avoid sugar-loaded packaged juices. Always go natural. Can too much water be harmful? Yes, though rare, overhydration can cause a dangerous condition called hyponatremia, low sodium in blood. This usually occurs in athletes who drink excessive water without electrolytes. For most people, this is not a risk, but balance is always key. The power of water in. A study of over 48,000 men published in the New England Journal of Medicine, those who drank at least 2 liters of water daily had a 29% lower risk of kidney stones. In another study, recurrent stone formers who were counseled to increase hydration reduced recurrence by nearly 60% over 5 years. This shows that something as simple as consistent hydration is more powerful than most medications. When it comes to kidney stone, prevention, show a dirty fish tank with cloudy water, then add fresh water until it's clear. Explain, this is exactly what water does inside your body. It keeps your kidneys clean, your urine diluted, and your stone risk low. We've talked about foods and habits that alarm the kidneys, and we've seen how water can be a lifesaver. But now comes the most important question viewers often ask. If red meat, salty snacks, and colas are dangerous, then what can I actually eat without fear? The kidney protective food, matrix low oxalate, vegetables safe. Broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, peas, cucumbers, zucchini. Why? These provide vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants without excessive oxalates that form calcium oxalate. Stones research, a clinical nutrition study, found that high vegetable diets rich in low oxalate. Greens reduce kidney stone recurrence by nearly 30%. Citrus. Fruits, natural citrate source. Safe. Oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruits. Why? Citrate binds to calcium, preventing crystals from forming. Practical tip. Start your day with warm water. Plus lemon juice. Moderate dairy or plant calcium. Sources safe. Yogurt, paneer, in moderation. Fortified soy milk. Why? Dietary calcium actually protects against stones by binding oxalate in the gut. Mythbuster. Cutting all calcium is dangerous. Studies show people who avoided calcium had a higher risk of stones. Plant proteins over animal proteins safe. Lentils. Beans, moderation, chickpeas, quinoa. Why? Provide protein without excess purines. Lowering uric acid stone risk. Tip. Mix legumes with rice or roti for complete protein without stressing kidneys. Whole grains. Instead of refined carbs safe, brown rice, oats, whole wheat bread. Why? Stabilize blood sugar? Support healthy weight. Both important in protecting kidneys from diabetes-related damage. The kidney plate formula. Imagine your dinner plate divided into 4 sections. 1-2 plate, vegetables and fruits. Low oxalate, colorful. 1-4 plate, whole grains, brown rice, oats, whole wheat, roti. 1-4 plate, protein, preferably plant-based or fish. Side, a cup of yogurt or calcium-fortified plant milk. So here's the truth. Your kidneys don't shout when they're in trouble. They whisper. A little back pain here, a little swelling there, maybe frothy urine, and by the time most people notice, the damage is already advanced. That's why protecting your kidneys isn't a choice. It's a daily responsibility. Here's something powerful. Kidney disease is rising worldwide. In South Asia alone, 1 in 10 adults already has some stage of kidney impairment, most without knowing. Dialysis centers are overflowing and transplants are limited. But imagine if each of us made simple shifts. More water, fewer colas, less salt, more citrus. We could prevent thousands of new cases every year. This isn't just about you, it's about your family, your community, your society. Start today. Fill a bottle with 3 liters of clean water and make it your daily goal. Replace just 1 soda or energy drink with lemon water. Add 1 serving of low oxalate, veggies, and 1 citrus fruit to your meals. Small steps, daily habits. That's how you protect your kidneys for life. Remember, your kidneys filter 50 gallons of blood every single day. Isn't it time you gave them the respect they deserve? Take care of your kidneys and they'll take care of you, silently, tirelessly for decades. But if you ignore them, one day their silence will break, and it may be too late. So make the choice today. Protect your kidneys with water, balance, and wisdom.